Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is D, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Four of Cups and Boredom. And when I was thinking about this card during the day, and I was contemplating it, it was just kind of like, I woke up, I meditated on it, and I was just like, this is just going to be one of those days that are just going to be long and agonizing, right? Nothing's going to go quick. Everything's going to slow down, and you're just going to be staring at the clock, waiting for, whatever, waiting for work, waiting for a football game, whatever. Okay. And the other thing that came to mind was, okay, we just had the Seven of Vessels with no water in it, right? And now we lost three of them. Hopefully they're filled. You've worked on that over the last couple days. But these other four are just spewing water all over the place. And, you've gone from a lack of vessels of water in the vessels to now you've got vessels overflowing and you're not doing anything with it. Okay? So this is kind of like an emotional roller coaster that we're on. Okay? We've gone through all this exploitation and, both of those cards are gone. All right, we're up with this Five of Vessels ecstasy. We're down because, the injustice. We're down a little bit more because we got to face that guardian. But you know what? We came up because of the simple fact that we faced the guardian, right? And then we got to mourn something. So now we're back down. The horse says, hey, let me cure you. Okay, so now we're up again. And then the hooded man is just, he wants you to look within. And, with looking within, into your spirit, into your, your shadow self, more or less, and looking at, what is there, you kind of take on that aspect of, you know what, I'm tired of this up and down, up and down. I just want it to be even keel. Well, that's up to you to make it even keel. To keep plugging forward like that Knight of Stones is asking you to do. Keep pushing forward. Okay, and the universe wants that as well. Okay, the universe doesn't like stagnant energy. All right, and that's kind of what this card is. It's stagnant energy. Okay, there's lethargy there's laziness, and this is just wasted energy. Okay, nothing's in your energetic patterns of going about the day. It's like you're cooking or something like that. And instead of bringing all the ingredients out and setting them on a table, you're going back to the fridge. Get this, come back, do this, go to the cabinet, put it back on the table. Go back to the fridge, do this, come back to the table, go back to the cabinet. There's a lot of wasted energy. It's not efficient, okay, when in that example, while you're cooking. All right. And, through that wasted energy, we become worn down. All right. Mentally, physically, spiritually, all right? And then that inspiration just doesn't flow. It's like, geez, oh, Pete, I just want to get through, cooking this meal, right? That way everybody can enjoy it. And then when everybody does enjoy it, hopefully they get up and they do take care of their own dishes. But if you've got to get up and take care of the dishes as well, you really haven't enjoyed the meal. You haven't enjoyed cooking. You haven't enjoyed the atmosphere around the table, of conversation, right? And you're just kind of like, well, how come you're not eating? Well, I'm just tired, And then at the end of the night, you're sitting there after doing the dishes and cleaning up, the pots and pans. You want to watch your favorite show and you fall asleep. To me, that's just wasted energy. You need to do things efficient, all right? And like I said, the universe likes that decisive action. It likes it when you make that decision and say, you know what? I'm going dancing tonight. You guys take care of the dishes, all right? I'm going dancing down the road, at the local, whatever, all right? And that releases you from that feeling of boredom because now you've put energy into it. This Four of Vessels, there's no energy. There's no emotional energy with it, okay? By making a decision, okay, now you enlightened yourself to move forward. Okay, and once you do that, all that other stuff falls behind, because when you're bored, you get disenchanted with what's going on. You know, oh yeah, you know, it's kind of like that woe is me. Yeah, life is just going by. Yeah, that's all right. You know, and when you get into that mood, right? A mood is an emotion, all right? You start putting stress on yourself. You start bringing up conflict, you know, because you're stressed out. Let's go back to making that dish. Now you gotta do the dishes, and here you are just wanting to sit down, and you know you've got conflict broiling in you because nobody's helping you out. You've cooked this great meal, right? And everybody's kind of like taking advantage of it, right? It goes back to that exploitation, right? This is how you feel. You just kind of get mad, right? And you know that just adds more to the stress. And now you can't sleep. You wake up the next day, you're grumpy, you know, or whatever, and it's just, you know, you can't move forward. All because there was no decisive action, right? And when you become emotionally detached, you know, because eventually that's what's going to happen, you become a black hole for that energy. You become just like, you know, what's behind her, that black hole, where the energy is just being siphoned from you. All right, and it's bringing you down, it's bringing you down, it's bringing you down. When you want to be up, 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 right? So, you know, when I see stuff like that happening with me, I cut it off. I look at that and say, you know what? You are not getting the best of me today. Yes, I may be tired. Yes, I may have a lot on my plate. But guess what? I'm going to take care of the tasks at hand. I'm going to continue doing what I need to do to move forward, okay? And I'm not letting you get to me. I don't want to have a boring day and have to look at the clock every 10 minutes and say, oh my gosh, only 10 minutes has gone by. Oh my God, you know, I got another 2 hours worth of work, right? Because I'm going to find activities to keep me busy, to take my mind off being bored. I may go about things a little slower. I may go about things, you know, and be more deliberate in my actions, but I'm not giving in to that wasted energy. I'm going to do the right things to do the right things, if that makes sense. You know, and you know, to fill that black hole, you know, to take that energy away from the black hole is one, all right. But to start filling you up, you have to recognize the opportunities that are around you. You have to look at the opportunities of you know, going through and looking at, you know, work stuff, looking at your relation stuff, you know, and not overthink it, but just give it an idea of how do I want to move forward. You know, it's the weekend, it's the holiday weekend, so, you know, I get it. Let's just kick back by the fire. Let's enjoy our camping trip. You know, let's have a few brewskis, you know, pina coladas, you know, adult beverages, whatever, you know, and let's let things go. But at the same time, don't get sucked into that black hole of boredom and ennui, right? Because when that happens, then it's just now you're sucking energy out of everybody else to keep you going. When, you know, you don't want to be that vampire, right? You want to be the one that's lighting up, you know, being lifted up, being enlightened as you're moving forward. So, you know, grasp that challenge as it comes through you today, because today might be a low energy day. But, you know, once you step through and recognize and are aware of what's going on, that's when you can grasp that challenge. That's when you can grasp that opportunity and become motivated to, you know, hey, let's go dancing tonight by the fire. Put some good music on, you know, and, you know, get out there and, you know, shake a leg or whatever. And don't let the fear hold you back. Because the fear, that guardian feeds on that fear, that life lesson. And you already faced them. So, you know, grab your adult beverage. Don't get out of hand, right? But at the same time, look that bare skeleton in the face and say, you know what? I went past you. And I'm moving forward. And I'm going to continue moving forward, all right? And be challenged and not be detached and recognize what's going on. I'm making a decisive action, okay, to continue moving forward on my path. So that's today's card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck, the Four of Vessels and Boredom. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, give me a thumbs up. And this is D for Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.